Hello and welcome back to the kitchen. I'm going to make another cooking video. I think I've only done one other one, so I've actually tried to do this one before, but the recording kept deleting itself. I mean, if that's even possible, it's probably my issue. But tonight we're going to make keto chicken pizza, and the pizza crust is made out of ground chicken. So let's gather all of our ingredients. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Okay, so I have a pound of ground chicken. So it's just like where you would buy the ground beef. And then mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, crushed red pepper, and then salt. I don't have the salt out here, but this is a 1/4 cup of mozzarella, a 1/4 cup of Parmesan, and then over here I went ahead and I did my spices. So that's a whole tablespoon of Italian seasoning, a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And really this is to your liking, especially on the red pepper. So if you don't, I kind of prefer a little on the spicier side, so I go a little heavier on that. And then same thing with like the salt and the garlic. So the only thing that I think is pretty true is the Italian seasoning. The real recipe that I got this from had all of the different Italian spices listed separately. I am just easy peasy in the kitchen, so I combine them all and just use Italian seasoning. And that's just the way I am. Tonight it's going to be a pepperoni pizza, so of course pepperonis. And because I'm being lazy, I did not make a sauce tonight, so Del Grasso is what I'm using. But I just made sure I got the one with the lowest carbs. Sorry, I made this last night too, so that's why I have that stain on there. But total carbs are 4 grams for a 1/4 cup. And I don't use a lot of sauce. So I probably only use maybe a 1/2 cup. So it's pretty low. I doubt I even use a 1/2 cup. Maybe I'll measure it tonight to see exactly how much I use. All right, so let's get started. So we're just going to combine everything. Oops. You just combine all of that, and I do this typically with my hands, and I can't hold the camera and mix it, so I'll just come back just like you were doing a meatloaf, but no need to do an egg or anything. The ground chicken is very moist and sticky, so you don't have to add anything to it. Okay, this is what it looks like all mixed up. As you can probably imagine, it's, you know, not very appetizing looking, but also, I wanted to just point out for a second, this mixing bowl, it is the 8-cup mixing bowl by Pampered Chef. And as I was gathering all of my stuff for this video, I realized I'm using a ton of Pampered Chef products. And no, I don't sell Pampered Chef, never have, but I've bought a ton of it over the years. So I thought I would just feature these Pampered Chef products. And I'm going to tag or list below a Pampered Chef consultant's information in the, I'll list it below. And I actually have never met this lady, and I did not buy these products from her, but I found her because she listed a while back that her kids wanted to mow lawns, and so I hired them, and they are so hardworking and dedicated and the most polite kids that I have come across in so long. And so I feel like that she has raised these wonderful kids, and she has her own business, and I just wanted to support her. I am going to buy some products from her, but these products actually did not come from her. She doesn't even know that I'm going to tag her in this. Maybe I'll tell her later. And I'm not using this, but this is my very old chopper, Pampered Chef chopper, but it is super old. And then we're about to use my pizza stone. And you can tell by how seasoned it is that it is very old. I would venture to say that I've had both of those. I've had all 3 of those products for 15 years. So anyway, we'll get this spread out. So you need 2 pieces of parchment paper, one for the bottom, one for the top, and I will show you why. Okay, so now I have this sitting over here on my stone on the parchment paper, and you're going to get another piece and place it on top of it and flatten it out. And you can do this with your hand, and you're just going to smooth it all the way out as thin as you like it. And personally, I like a thinner crust, especially with this ground chicken crust. So in that case, I use a rolling pin. This is not Pampered Chef, but it will do the trick. And I cannot do this and hold the camera very well, so I think you can understand how to do it. But you don't have to have that. You could use your hands if you want to. So I'll show you the finished product here in just a second. Okay, so here it is all spread out, and definitely not a perfect circle. A lot of times it'll end up being square, but as you can see, I make it pretty thin. It's going to draw up a little bit and kind of thicken up, but it's a nice dense pizza. So kind of play with it. I would err on the side of thinner rather than thick, because I've had some people just tell me that they hated it because it was just too dense. So definitely err on the side of thinner. So you're going to put this in the oven at 425 degrees and bake it for about 20 minutes. And I'll show you what that looks like, of course. And then, just to kind of prep you, you're actually going to flip it when you take it out. You can put some olive oil on this right now if you want to, but I actually don't do it on this side. I do it on the next side. This, especially for this chicken, because it was very lean. The store did not have, I want to say it was 95% lean, so it's pretty lean. So I'm going to add some, when I flip it, I'm going to brush on some olive oil and some more garlic, but you could even do butter if you wanted to. So I will go ahead and put this in the oven and I'll pull it out and let you see what it looks like. Okay, it's not done, and please excuse the state of my oven, but I wanted to let you know what it kind of looks like while it's cooking. So I'm going to try to get in there closer so you can really see. So see, it's really wet and it dripped down there. And it gets really bubbly, and that's grease basically right there. And that's normal. A lot of people, when I send out this recipe to people, people always ask about that. So just wanted to let you know that this is normal. It only has about 5 more minutes on this side. Okay, so here it is, and remember I told you it would draw up. So as you can see, the outline, and now it's, you know, drawn up. So it's not quite as thin as it was, but still pretty thin. And, you know, I'm not perfect. Look, see around the edges, it's a little thicker. But anyway, now I'm gonna flip this over. So actually, I put a fresh thing of parchment paper under it, and so that will make it a lot easier just to flip over. Okay, so here it is on the other side. See how that steam? It's nice and hot. And at this point, I'm going to take some olive oil and some garlic and a little bit of salt, just to give the crust a little bit of flavor. I don't normally measure this. I just pour a little bit, and not Pampered Chef. And I just smooth it all over. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of salt and sprinkle it. And I should have grabbed my garlic. Just gives it a little bit extra flavor. Okay, so this is a 1/2 cup of sauce, and I just want to see if I actually use a 1/2 cup or if I use less. I really think it's less, but I guess I'm using 1/2 cup today because I just poured it on there. it's a lot, then we'll know. I would advise to go with a 1/4 cup. Yeah, I think a 1/4 cup is probably what I normally use. Maybe somewhere in between a 1/4 cup and a 1/2 cup. But definitely not more. This is way more than I normally use. Okay. And so then you're just going to put some cheese and your topping, and I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay, here is my finished product. Doesn't that look yummy? It is, and after it cools a minute, I will show you how sturdy it is so that it's not like something you have to eat with a knife and fork. But I also wanted to show you, which I'll show you in a minute, my Pampered Chef pizza cutter. You know what? Oh yeah, it is Pampered Chef. And an oldie but goodie here. Cool, this thing has seen its better days. Pampered Chef though, it still works. Tell you, it's time to update some of my products for sure. I see a Pampered Chef party in my future. All right, I will check back with you in a few minutes after this has a chance to cool. I did not let it cool very much, but I'm going to show you. Okay, slide this over here. I'll pick it up so you can see, like, it's super sturdy and hot. So there you go. It is so delicious. Well, I'm probably gonna regret doing this, but it's so hot. Never disappoints. It's so good. You have to try it. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and press subscribe, and then click on that little bell and you'll get notified anytime I do a new video. I don't do as many as I would like to, but I'm gonna try to be better about that. So please subscribe. Really trying to build those followers. Thanks, I hope you have a great day, and keto on.